Hey guys, what's going on? We're back at it, tying up another Chironomid pattern. This one's going to be the Chromie, which is outside of the ice cream cone Chironomid. It's probably the most popular and most common other Chironomid pattern. I think just about everything else is some sort of variation or deviation off of that. So it's pretty standard fly, another really simple one to tie. And there's lots of different ways you can tweak this. Everything from the type of hook that you tie it on, the size, the color, you can have gills, it cannot have gills, you can change the bead color. It's just a great fly. So I tie up a bunch and I literally vary everything about it, and something always works, or they all work. So this one, we're tying this one on this is a Daiichi 1260 curved hook, and I'm using a little black brass bead on this one. I'm gonna tie this one with gills. So we'll take our bead and drop it back to the bend of the hook. And for the gills, there's a bunch of different stuff you can use, but I'm using Antron yarn, and Antron just comes in these kind of these little strings, and I'm just going to pull a little piece back. You don't need, this is relatively small, so you don't need a ton of, I don't need to use a whole bunch, but I should probably tie down some thread before I try to attach anything to it. Tying this with, this is black 70 UTC denier. And I'm going to tie, when I tie this in, I'm going to tie it to extend quite a bit longer than what it's actually going to be. Make sure that sits on top of the hook. Always like to keep it a little bit longer because it's a lot easier to grab a hold of it and cut it off when you're done. All right, let's just clean this up before we whip finish. I'm just gonna slip in a quick finish, and we'll push our bead forward. There we go. We'll cut the gills off when we're done. Go ahead and attach our thread back down, and we're gonna take it directly back to the end of the hook, and get back to the bend. Make this all the way back there. We'll tie in a strip of this, I think is medium. Yeah, this is medium ultra wire, and I always try to keep the wire on top, very top of the hook. We bring it forward just because it keeps the body as consistent as possible, and we want that to go all the way up to basically where we cut off the gills. Take it all the way back. And the taper doesn't need to be perfect yet because we've still got one more piece to tie in. So again, lots of different materials you can use for the body of this. This is kind of an old-fashioned one, so I'm going to use just tinsel. This is just small mylar tinsel. And mylar tinsel has gold on one side and gold on that side. And I don't know if you can even see that. Gold on one side and silver on the other side. We're going to tie it down so that the gold side is actually facing up. And then when we wrap it, it'll spin over to the silver side. And go ahead and secure that down. All right, and this is where we want to even out the body. If there's any any spots that where the tinsel isn't going to wrap smoothly. You can fix those now. Make sure everything's smooth. Always try to look around the fly. Sometimes looks different from other angles. Before we get ready to, looks pretty good. All right, so we'll wrap our tinsel in this. We're now gonna see the silver side of the tinsel. And one wrap, basically almost right over the top of the previous one. It's gonna give an incredible shine to the body, which obviously when you get the chironomids to emerge, they get that little gas built up in their body, and they apparently shine like crazy, even though I've never actually seen it. Apparently that's what they do. All right, now I'm gonna reverse wrap our rib the opposite direction as we wrapped our tinsel. Try to keep those as spaced out as possible. Couple wraps to secure that down. Alright, that should be good. Should be able to helicopter this guy off. Alright, and the last part that you probably could just leave this with just a little black behind the bead, but I'm gonna add in a couple wraps of peacock curl. Just grab one little strand there. And there we go. Give that a few wraps up at the front. Perfect. And then finish. All right. Let's trim these gills. Should be quite small. That's it. Chromie. It's I got a 1,000 of these things in my fly box of different kind of different sizes and different colors, but it's a deadly fly, and it's quite simple to tie. So yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching, and good luck out there.